All right, let's talk about Jesus turning water into wine. This is one of his first miracles recorded in the book of John. I'm not going to read the whole thing because most of us are familiar, but I think this is actually confusing to a lot of Christians. Or like, I don't understand. If we're not supposed to drink alcohol, especially in Western society, why is it that Jesus turned this water into wine at a Galilean wedding? Like, what's the point of all this kind of stuff? So I'm going to share my thoughts here real quick. And this is probably something that you've never heard before. So, on the third day, this is John chapter 2, there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. So they were called, come to this marriage. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto them, they have no wine. Jesus saith unto her, woman, what have I do to thee with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. And his mother saith unto his servants, whatever he saith unto you, do it. And there were 6 pots of stone, after the manner of purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece. And then Jesus says, fill them with water. And they filled them to the brim. He saith unto them, draw out now, and bear unto the governor. And when the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and saith unto him, every man at the beginning doth set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept the good wine unto now. So what in the world is going on here? Here is my interpretation. Jesus came to earth basically not to make friends. He says, I'm here to basically cause people to go against each other. He says that later, and maybe I'll make another video of it. But he wasn't coming there to make peace. That's not why he was coming. This isn't like the Millennium Kingdom or anything like that. But he's coming to basically divide people. As in, anyone that follows Jesus must give his life to him. Basically, dedicate your life 100% to Jesus. And those that don't, that look back and all that, aren't worthy of his kingdom. That's been his ministry. That's what he's been talking about the whole time in his ministry. Somebody would say, let me go bury my dad or whatever, just like Elijah, when Elijah had some disciples. And Elijah said, yeah, okay, go ahead, take your time, go do what you got to do. And Jesus said, no, like, let the dead bury their dead, come with me. Why? Because of this right here. So look at this. Again, they ran out of wine. The cheap stuff, or the good stuff, I should say. They ran out of it. Then when they wanted wine, mother of Jesus said unto them, they have no wine. And Jesus said, woman, what have I do to thee? Mine hour is not yet come. What is mine hour? Armageddon. Judgment day. That's what Jesus was talking about here. Why? He filled up these 6 cups, or 6 jugs, if you will, that were normally set aside for purification for the Jews. Instead, he filled it up with water, and it turned to wine. Wine is also symbolic of God's wrath. And this ruler, whoever he was, went, you know what? Usually the bridegroom brings out the best stuff and then waters it down and all this stuff. But man, you made this wine so good that we can get really drunk now. Really drunk. Because look at this. And saith unto them, every man at the beginning set forth good wine, and when the men have well drunk, as in got really drunk, then that which is worse, so watered down wine, but thou hast kept the good wine unto now. I know this is going to sound weird, but in a roundabout way, Jesus is making these people more drunk. I know it sounds weird. It sounds like poor English, right? Here's why. Look at this. Come across Zechariah chapter 12. Jerusalem is a cup of trembling. I'll talk about that. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth from the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. In that day I will make Jerusalem burdensome stone for all people, that all that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, through all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. So right here, cup of trembling unto all people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against. So this is a cup of wine. So this is judgment. This is judgment day right here. So basically anybody that basically drinks wine and does their own thing, and there are some people that are actually trying to speed up judgment day, if you will. They're like, you know what, let's just continue to do what we do, because this will bring the Lord's day quicker, the day of Christ quicker. And God's like, be careful, because if you do that, you're going to be judged for that as well. Let's go over here to, where are we here? Right here. This is Psalm 75, verse 8, verse 7. For God is the judge, he putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, and all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. What's he talking about here? Well, he's talking about his wrath, and basically he's going to mix everything together. Doesn't matter. You can call yourself good, you're still going to be under wrath during Jacob's trouble. And it's interesting that the idea is to basically stir this up so much so that the dregs get poured out. What are the dregs? Well, this is the worst part of the wine. It's the remnant. It's not the remnant, but it's the leftovers, if you will. It's just little chunks and pieces. They're basically, you spit them out. They're called dregs. Dregs. This is the lowest part on the totem pole of people, of wickedness. You've heard sayings like drag queens and all this kind of stuff. Basically, they are now entering into schools, calling themselves drag queens, and actually teaching wickedness to children. And it's interesting that when you're talking about wine, the idea is to, when you're purifying the wine, you get rid of all the dregs. I'm not saying like go out and take people out and stuff, but I'm just saying that this is the worst part of the wine. It's the wickedness. It's the worst thing that you can be, is just having a day. The second you wake up, you are wanting to do wickedness. That's all you think about all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this is very similar to the days of Noah. There was violence in their hearts the second they woke up until they went to bed. That's all they could think of. That's all they could do, is do evil things. So when we go to the Galilean wedding, Jesus is basically setting a template saying, look, you guys are basically going to be drunk on my wrath, basically. And this is just a hint of it. These 6 jars are basically, it's coming. Wrath is coming. Even John the Baptist said, why are you fleeing? Is it because you heard the day of wrath is coming? Is that why you're fleeing, you vipers, you white-walled sepulchres, all this stuff? Like, Jesus came against the leaders in Israel because they were wicked pastors. What's a pastor? A pastor is leading shepherds, and they were abusing the sheep. Pastors lead sheep in the days of Israel. And they were taking advantage of the widows. They were taking advantage of the poor. They weren't healing people. They were avoiding them, and they were charging usury, making money off of the poor, all kinds of wickedness. And Jesus was calling them out in his ministry. So if you got something out of this, if this is something a little bit different than what you've heard, let me know in the comments, and feel free to let me know your thoughts. If you want me to go deeper, I can go a little bit deeper as well. And thanks for watching. Let me know where you are watching this video from, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.